Now on News 8, a historic debate between former President Trump and President Biden.
We have analysis and a recap from tonight's debate.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Brian Sterling.
And I'm Amber Kriska. It's the big story we've been following all night, the debate between former President Trump and President Biden.
Tonight was the first ever televised presidential debate between a former and sitting president. For the last 2 hours, those candidates addressed the economy, abortion, the border, and other topics important to the nation. It's by far the most critical night in the election cycle so far.
Unlike previous debates, tonight's debate did not feature a studio audience, and their microphones were muted unless they were speaking.
Joining us now in studio with analysis of tonight's debate, our political reporter Rick Albin. Rick, what are your initial thoughts?
Well, my initial thoughts are the two takeaways from this debate are not necessarily what I thought they would be, but we'll talk about those after we look at some of what was said. As always, I think debates serve to solidify voters' views on candidates. If you went into the debate in favor of a particular candidate, you probably feel the same way afterward, unless there was something that was a blaring error or gaffe, and some people think there may have been some of those issues. Later, we'll talk more. The big issues saw both candidates take very different stands on major issues, beginning with the economy and inflation.
What do you say to voters who feel they are worse off under your presidency than they were under President Trump?
We got to take a look at what I was left when I became president and what Mr. Trump left me. We had an economy that was in free fall. The pandemic was so badly handled. Many people were dying. All he said was, it's not that serious. Just inject a little bleach into your arm. You'll be all right. The economy collapsed. There were no jobs. Unemployment rate rose to 15%. It was terrible. And so what we had to do is try to put things back together again. And that's exactly what we began to do. We created 15,000 new jobs. We brought out the position where we have 800,000 new manufacturing jobs. But there's more to be done.
The only thing he was right about is I gave you the largest tax cut in history. I also gave you the largest regulation cut in history. That's why we had all the jobs. And the jobs went down and then they bounced back, and he's taking credit for bounce back jobs. You can't do that. He also said he inherited 9% inflation. No, he inherited almost no inflation, and it stayed that way for 14 months. And then it blew up under his leadership because they spent money like a bunch of people that didn't know what they were doing, and they don't know what they were doing. It was the worst, probably the worst administration in history.
No surprise that the argument over the border found the two presumptive nominees at odds on how the situation surrounding immigration should be handled.
Look, we had the safest border in the history of our country. The border, all he had to do was leave it. All he had to do was leave it. He decided to open up our border, open up our country to people that are from prisons, people that are from mental institutions, insane asylum, terrorists. We have the largest number of terrorists coming into our country right now, all terrorists, all over the world, not just in South America, all over the world. They come from the Middle East, everywhere. All over the world, they're pouring in. And this guy just left it open.
When he was president, he was separating babies from their mothers, putting them in cages, making sure the families were separated. That's not the right way to go. What I've done since I've changed the law, what's happened? I've changed it in a way that now you're in a situation where there are 40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. It's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
All right, Rick, a lot of people are talking about President Biden's performance tonight, both Republicans and Democrats, saying Biden was hard to understand at times, lost his train of thought. How will this debate impact Michigan voters?
That's one of the takeaways that I had not necessarily factored into this, because I anticipated a performance more like the State of the Union, where he came out, he seemed well rehearsed, but of course he had a prompter and he was able to practice exactly what he was going to say. Tonight he had to think on his feet and he had to talk in clear messages about what it was that he has done and what he would do. And many people during the debate and after the debate, both online and both parties, suggested that the president's performance tonight was not up to what it may have been. And the problem with that is, we talked about this at 6, this election will be won on the margins. So you were tuning in tonight, if you're one of the 50 or 60 or more % of the people that really don't want to vote for either one of these folks. You were turning in tonight to try to find a reason to vote. And in that case, I'm not sure that President Biden met that standard. On the other hand, same conversation is about the veracity of Donald Trump and how many of the things he said were either inaccurate or flat out wrong. So those would be two of the big narratives out of here. I think we've got a graphic. Can I show you this real quick? And this is what I mean. There are 5 or 6 battleground states that are just this close. This is Michigan with our Emerson College, the Hill poll from earlier this month, 46 to 45%. So think about it. What percentage of people watching in Michigan looked at that tonight and said, I can't vote for one of these candidates? That can start changing the analysis of this a lot. And that's the same thing in Pennsylvania, not quite as close in Wisconsin. You've got Georgia, you've got Nevada, and Arizona. Those are the states that are going to decide this race. And that's why this matters. And that was a little surprising to me.
If you look at some of the online chatter during the debate, post-debate, it would seem that the Democratic Party may be in a bit of a panic after what happened tonight. Do you see anything drastically changing in between now and the convention, at the convention, or after?
I can't, I don't, and I wouldn't be surprised if it did. And here's why. First of all, it's almost physically impossible. The way the entire convention is set up with the number of delegates, the way all of that is already structured, it's already built to be a coronation for Joe Biden. And you're only a few weeks out. So to have something change dramatically would take a real sea change, and I'm not sure that's what we saw tonight. People may be a little nervous, but to be able to make a change of that magnitude would be unheard of. And I just don't think that that's, first of all, I don't think that's where Democrats are, and I don't think even if they were, I don't think they could get there from here.
Yeah, it's just scrolling on social media. A lot of people are saying, I'm disappointed and I'm just over it.
Yeah, I think that for those people who were already unexcited about this year's presidential race.
They call them the double haters.
Double haters.
Yeah, well, if they tuned in tonight, now they're really double haters.
Yeah, they're
gonna
hating.
Yeah.
Okay, Rick Albin, thank you for that.
All right, well, if you didn't get the chance to watch the debate tonight, we have a recap online at woodtv.com. Our coverage will also continue tomorrow morning on Daybreak.